Good morning. I'm back to it, and I feel like I haven't been on here for a while, but so it's really nice to get back and say hello to everybody. I have been busy doing other stuff. I've been working on my book and interviewing lots of different women for the podcast. So I've not just been sat at home doing anything. Plus, my daughter went off to university, so I've been struggling a bit with that. So I am getting my vavavoom back, and this morning's guest is definitely going to help with that. I'm really excited to be talking to Zee Battersby, who is probably a bit like me, who has been a lover of magazines and has been flicking through all these magazines that supposedly are aimed at women over 40 and actually fail quite flatly and don't feel represented at all, because they're still sort of churning out this stereotypical image of what 40-year-old women are like. So Zee has taken matters into her own hands and created a new magazine, 40 and Beyond, and it is amazing, even though I do say that I am on the front cover of the first edition, which I was super excited about. So I'm going to be joined by Zee this morning to talk about where she got the inspiration from and to find out all about it. So good morning, Zee.
Morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. It's so nice to finally see each other because we've been obviously having online conversations, but never kind of face to face. So it's really nice to see your face properly.
I know. I do feel like I know you already, though.
Yes.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, as I said in the introduction, you have kind of taken matters into your own hands and gone ahead and created a really fabulous new magazine aimed at women over 40. How did you feel about the magazine industry before? Were you like me, like I said in the introduction, where you kind of felt flat about what was out there?
I mean, I stopped reading all the little sort of gossip mags probably about 15 years ago, just because of how they were, how they treated women, really. And they were written by women, body shaming, all that kind of thing. Yeah. So we've not had them in the house for a long time. And even obviously my daughter, she's 27 now, my daughter, but she's got a 10-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old boy. But the 10-year-old she's really body confident and really unaware, which I think is really important. But I just thought it's not until you actually, read them and you think, God, that's not how other women should be, treating other women. And then when you get onto like the bigger sort of Good Housekeeping guide and, things like that, and the fashion and the sort of women they had on there. I mean, I'm not, there's a niche for everybody. There's room for everyone.
Yeah.
But, I just didn't feel like, I'm 48 in April. And I don't feel like I'm an average sort of 48-year-old, probably not mentally. I think I'm still stuck in the 90s at a party somewhere, trying to find my way out. But, I just think actually there are lots of women. So I digressed a little bit. I started off doing a blog called I'm Not Old, I'm Retro. And my husband and I are really into sort of the mod scene. And obviously everything's gone to pot now. He's even sold his scooter.
Oh, no.
I know. Oh. I've had it for a long time. And it was, just said, well, he's in the military, so he doesn't get to, we don't get to go out on it anymore or anything like that. So he got, I started doing that about sort of mod fashion. I was a lot slimmer then as well. So yeah, hormones and HRT is.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I'll get onto that in a minute because I was supposed to be on it. Yeah, so I started doing that, and then I started writing for a regular, like a local sort of Suffolk, Essex, Norfolk, little glossy lifestyle magazine. It was just about fashion and things that I'd found and sort of getting older, in the same kind of vein, but on a small local scale. And that really made me think, well, actually, because you don't think anyone's reading it, and then you're in Waitrose and someone will go, oh, excuse me, I'll read you in that magazine. And you think, oh my God. And my granddaughter was absolutely mortified. She's like, who's that? I was like, I don't know. Just be like, just smile. She went, are you famous? I went, absolutely not. Absolutely not, but she tells everyone her nan's got a magazine now. But yeah, I'm a grandma,
Brilliant.
So yeah, that was sort of where it started. And then I thought to myself, like when you're talking to people and they say, oh, you get quite excited and you go, oh, I've got a blog. And it got to the point where people went, oh, have you? Like, oh, another one. And I just thought, oh, okay. And then when you're sort of when you're writing and it just got a bit fluffy, and I thought, you know what, there must be some other really more important women out there than me. Is that your dog?
I don't know. Yeah, it is, sorry. It is.
What, you're having a scratch?
No, he's normally really quiet, and he's just woke up.
It must be my awful pitch of voice.
Oh.
Like, what's that? Oh, that's good. Well, yeah, and I just thought there are some. I mean, I know some amazing women. A lot of my friends, they're TV producers, they're tattooists, they're, you know, they've all got really unusual jobs, and I just thought, you know, there are other women out there with a story to tell. We don't have any backing. You know, there are a couple of women that are on Loose Women. They've got their own online magazines, but they've got so much marketing and everything behind them, and we haven't got that.
Yeah, but look what you produced for your first edition. It's amazing.
I mean, I did sort of, I tried to do a lot of it myself, and I just put out there on my Instagram, does anybody know anything about, sort of writing, designing magazines? And a girl that she's a bit younger than me, she's quite a bit younger than me, but she just had a baby, and she works for Suffolk Royal and Norfolk Life magazine. And she said, look, I'm on maternity leave, I'd love to help you. You know, and I reached out to her, I hate that phrase, but I did. I reached out to a couple of other women that I knew had sort of a few contacts and things, but I've learned no response is a response, you know. So I just thought, oh, well, didn't take it personally. I just thought, right, well, I'll just keep going and see if anybody can sort of help us. And Alex came on board, and she's so clever. She completely gets where I'm coming from. I mean, she's in her 30s. And some of like the skincare specialists and people that I've got on board to give advice, they're very, very good at what they do. And, you know, a lot of them specialise in older skin. They're not older themselves, but they're so knowledgeable. I thought, well, you know, I'm going to ask them for help, you know. So we've got the next issue coming up is October and November sort of conjoined, because there's so many more people that want to sort of contribute. So we've got like a wellness, a mental health wellness lady who, Chalita Frost, she's coming on board to do, sort of talk to you about mental health and the menopause. Then we've got somebody else who concentrates on diet and how diet can affect your mood. And this whole thing that's in the media a lot at the moment about your breathing and how breathing and sort of cold showers and things, it can really boost your immune system. It sounds dreadful, but it can really boost your immune system, especially with flu season coming up and obviously what's out there at the moment. But yeah, I don't really want a cold shower, but I'll do anything.
I have tried it.
Make me look a bit younger and make me live a bit longer.
I have tried it, and you're supposed to build it up, but I can only do a few seconds because it's so cold. I don't know how people do it for like longer lengths of time.
In the back garden.
But it does wake you up.
Yeah, it's meant to be really good for you. And then I've got Sarah St. Ledger. She's got her own sort of salon in her back garden. It's beautiful. She lives in Lavenham, which is sort of up this way, a really old historical town. She's got this beautiful cabin in the back garden where she does all her treatments. But what she does as well is she works with breast cancer patients free of charge, and she does the 3D nipple tattooing.
Oh yeah.
So when you've had like a reconstruction, and she also works with transgenders, so if you've gone through, either way, you can you've got to have breast surgery. So she does a lot of work with that, and also if you're anything like me and you plucked your eyebrows into oblivion in the 90s, she'll give you eyebrows, which is amazing, because I just look like a surprised egg most of the time in the morning. My husband was like, why don't you get your eyebrows tattooed? And I was like, oh, is that a hint? So I did. But she's so clever, you see. So that's quite apt at the moment with
There's so many women out there, though, that I'm sure you found so many women that you've connected with on social media that are like-minded women that that don't get represented in the right way, and there is this huge gap in the market which you, I think, are really going to fill, which is brilliant.
I hope so, and I hope like people read it and they can, I just want it to be relatable and inclusive. And these are all the words that people use all the time. And sometimes they can be quite empty. You know, they sort of they'll do a little bit of, you know, include somebody else. I mean, we've got women of all races, all age, you know, from sort of 40 up to 80 that are going to be featuring. Some of these women live amazing lives, and they've really sort of, you know, that we've got people that have just remarried. I mean, I didn't meet my husband till I was just sort of I got married at 40. Shall I tell you how I met him?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh my God. Right. So everyone loves this story, but it makes me sound mental in a nice way. So I kept seeing him. I live in a small market town in Bury St Edmunds, which is in Suffolk. And I kept seeing this man on my way to work in the morning. He's very dark skinned, you know, sort of walking towards me, and he had tattoos. And I was thinking, who's that? Anyway, on my way home, I walked past the barber's where he was getting his hair cut. And he was in his uniform. So, of course, I was sort of, oh, my God, you know, where's he come from? And the next day I saw the girl, Karen, who cuts his hair. And I said, oh, you were cutting a really nice man's hair yesterday. She said, oh, his name's Lee. And I said, is he married? She said, no, he's divorced. Has he got any young children? Because that's always, as you get older, you realise how complicated life is, don't you? And you just think, oh, God, you know, my daughter had grown up. She'd just had a baby. Lots of things to consider as you get on, isn't there? But no, his daughter was just 2 years younger than mine, and he was single. And so I just said, all right, okay. So I wrote my phone number down on a bit of paper and took it down to the barber shop. And it said, hi, my name's Zee, this is my number, PS I'm not mental.
I love it.
I know. And he texted me and said, this has never happened to me before. My life's a little bit complicated because he was going through a divorce. But yeah, we came for coffee, and my granddaughter Lily was she must have been about 9-10 months old. So she was present at our first sort of meeting. And I was so flustered. I put the coffee in the fridge. I don't know why, like granulated coffee. And he was like, yeah, I did think you were a little bit different. Okay.
That's such a good story.
I know. So I'm very much like, if you don't ask, you don't get. And that's with people who want to advertise with us, anything like that. And the worst someone's going to say is no. And I thought to myself, do you know what? I might make a new friend who might have friends, you know. And I did actually. He's my best friend. It sounds really cheesy. I'm an acquired taste. I'm a little bit, you know, out there. I've got some quite complicated health problems, and he just takes it all in his stride. So
I think you're fabulous, and I love that, you know, on social media you're such a breath of fresh air, because you are just completely yourself, and you put it all out there, and you do talk about your health issues and everything you get up to. And I think it's brilliant though, because it's important to share these things, because we can all relate to different parts of each other, can't we, and learn from each other.
So you know, it is. It's just what's the worst that can happen is what I always think. So this, with the magazine, I just thought we'll either fall spectacularly flat on our face, and everyone would be like, oh well, you know, we knew that wouldn't work, that kind of thing. Because there are always people quite happy to see you fail. It doesn't matter how nice you are. You know, it's a reflection of that person, not you. So I'm still learning about human nature and about how other people treat each other. And I'm in my mid to late 40s. I think it's a very different world out there as well with social media. So I think you have to make it as positive. I mean, I've not had too many bad experiences. It's quite strange. There's been a trend lately of older men asking if I'd be their sugar baby. So they obviously have no idea of my age. And to be quite frank, no. No, thank you. I just go, oh God. And I always show Lee and go, who's that? Oh, how embarrassing. Because he's never done social media ever.
Right, okay.
So that was another thing. When I first saw him, I thought, I'm going to do the old, you know, the woman thing. We're like Agatha Christie, aren't we? Once we've, you know,
hunt them down.
Ask your friend, and women can find out something about somebody else within sort of the 3-hour window. But it wasn't on anything. And I was like, oh, this is annoying. But it all worked out well in the end. So
nothing seems to faze you, Zee. So through this whole magazine process, have you just kind of gone with the flow, and have you found it quite stressful, or have you actually just loved the whole process?
I've really loved it, and that's only because I've got Alex, who is very positive. She doesn't try and change anything, and anything anyone sends in to us, we don't say, oh, why don't you reword it? It's got to be very honest. So I just spell check things because we're all, you know, but I've got a MacBook Pro, which is American. So I have to be really careful. Things I realise it'll put a Z in, and I'll think, oh, wrong. But anyway, that's another story. But you know, it's just I've got a friend Katie. She lost her husband in her early 40s to esophageal cancer, and it's a really moving piece of writing, you know, and everybody that's read it has been moved to tears. And you know, it's because she wanted to share it. She didn't, you know, it's not for attention or anything like that. It's something that so many women go through. And you know, she's an amazing woman. She's a huge inspiration to me. And I just think, you know, there might be somebody else out there going through exactly the same thing, and she, to me, is probably one of the strongest people I know. You know, both her daughters now have gone to university. They're both in London. And she just gets up and gets on with it.
It's about surrounding yourself by the right women, isn't it, that support each other?
The right women.
Definitely. And will it stay online, or will it be in print as well in the future, do you think?
Do you know, we would love for it to be in print, but we looked into the cost of it, and this was just an A5 sort of in your handbag size, and to get it, because it's national when it's online. Lots of people are asking, but unless somebody out there with a lot of money wants to, you know, fund it, then you know, I think it will be, I've said sort of 5 years. Let's see if we're still going in 5 years. It might happen before that, or it might really take off. And I don't know how it works. Publishing houses might say, actually, this is a bit different. We like it, you know. And Alex and I would be thrilled. But she definitely gets me. She gets. We're the same. You know, we laugh at the same things. We've got the same. She's got purple hair. You know, she's just very, I have to say, if you're on Instagram, follow her. One of her accounts is the Boot Sale Kid, and it's she goes to these car boot sales. I've never seen anybody get so much amazing stuff in my life.
I've got a friend like that, and I don't know how they find it, because I go to them and I can never find anything.
I did a car boot sale once. It rained. Me and my friend got flu. I spent £5 on the pitch. I bought a donut and tea for the three of us. My daughter Patsy was about 8, and she didn't want to get out of the car because we just pulled up and everybody was around the car. She was like, "What's happening, Mum?" And I was like, I don't know. And they just wanted you to open the boot and have a free for all. And I just remember this woman, she bartered me down to 50p for this brand new kettle, and she said, "I'll come back for it." So I cut the plug off. They gave me 50p when they enjoy.
I love it.
Oh, I was fuming, and then we were both really poorly. And when we got home, I was like, "Oh God, I'm not doing that again." So, but yeah, the stuff she finds is amazing. So it's all, you know, we've got sustainable. Like a sustainable fashion is very, like fast fashion and things are very much, you know, hopefully you've got big companies like H&M now, which will bring in your old clothes. They get recycled. They make new garments out of them, sort of bed linen, all sorts. So I'm really hoping. So one of our features is on Mary Benson, who is absolutely phenomenal woman. And I love all of her designs, and I was so worried that you know, I asked her if she, you know, the other thing is, I don't want to come across as one of these people that is always after something off somebody else. So I don't want anything off anyone. If they want to send me you know, something to say thank you for being featured in the magazine, then, you know, send it to me or send it to Alex, or I'll give it to somebody that wants it or needs it. But there's a fine line between sort of saying I'd love to feature you, and then them automatically thinking, oh, do they want something back? Where we don't. We're just out there. There's so many people said, oh my God, I've just subscribed to Mary's website. I love all her clothing. And you're like, that's brilliant. You know, and it doesn't, that's all you want. Because I do get a bit fed up with people, you know, I work with newer who they do the non-surgical. It's like
yes, I've seen that.
boosting. It is amazing.
Mm.
But that's it really. And then they sent me some stuff, you know, and I'm just very honest about it. And I'm like, you know, it does work. That's it.
Yeah.
But it's this constant paid partnership with. I'm not saying, you know, I'm not slating anybody, but I think you can be tarnished with the same brush. So I just want people to know that we're just out there. We just want everybody to do well, and if we can advertise something, do you know what I mean?
You've created a platform that's really just open for women to share, and anybody to share what they're doing. And if it's something that you are in line with and you believe in, then you're going to share it. And I think that's really important. It's about being authentic, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, authentic.
So you just mentioned before that you're 48. How do you feel about aging?
It doesn't bother me really at all. I feel quite I feel very lucky to have got this far. I feel lucky to have met my husband. My daughter's grown up. No, it doesn't bother me. I mean, so my mum, when she went through the menopause, she said, "Oh, it was fine. It was just like turning off a tap." And I thought, God, I hope that's what it's like for me. And I went to the doctors last year, and he put me on HRT because he said that's, you know, I was having night sweats and all the rest of it, and I felt dreadful. And it turned out I had a big tumour on like a big abscess sort of tumour thing on my ovary. So they put me on HRT. So I'm still trying to lose the weight from that. And it really, I mean, it doesn't make everybody put on weight, so don't be put off. If it works for you, then that's fine. But now I just remember going to fitness classes with my mum when I was younger, and I now know why so many of the women there were like middle-aged, because all of a sudden you go, oh, what's happened?
It's really hard.
You know, and I'm not a picky eater. I have to watch what I eat because I've got no colon. But it was just another thing that I didn't need. So things like my friend said to me once, "Oh, we're like classic cars. Bits keep going wrong, and you know, you can't find the bits to fix you," sort of thing. And I just thought, well, yeah, it is what it is, and it is about mindset. It's very easy to sort of slip into that. You know, there's a list of things that's wrong with me, but there's also somebody out, like my mum's got ovarian cancer. So, you know, there are women my age with that as well. There are women younger than me with breast cancer. There are women who have lost loved ones to COVID. So it's about, I'm very good at thinking, do you know what, it could be worse. And that's just my attitude. So make the best of it. You know, get up, put your makeup on. Sometimes, honestly, some days I look hideous. We babysat our grandchildren, and my husband turned up after work and he opened the door and went, "Oh my God, what's happened to you?" I went, "I don't know how she does it." I looked like I'd had a breakdown. I don't know how she does it, but I hadn't washed my hair. I hadn't put my makeup on. Henry's a three-nager, and boys are completely mad. I don't know how anyone does it. If you've got more than one boy, you need a medal.
Yeah, I agree.
Nerves were shot to pieces. And I don't know how women do it. I don't know how women in their 40s have children. I just think, you know, more power to you. If you've been on that IVF, heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching IVF, you know, cycle, or it's just never something you'd thought about because you had a career and then you decide to have children later. Most people my mum's age and older, they all had babies either really early or really late. So, you know, I don't know why it's so frowned upon. If you're healthy, you know, and lots of people start again, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. They really do. It's really common in the 40s too. You know, divorce is quite common in when you get to 40. It's that time where you start reevaluating life and thinking, okay, what do I really want in the next chapter? It's a funny time, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be. And it's as well, it's that you think you're missing out on something. I've got friends that feel like that, and it's like, well, you know, you're not. And I think if I could give anyone any advice at all, it's if you want it, don't compare yourself to anyone else. I learned that in my 20s. I was the only mum in our sort of social group. We used to go to London. 3 or 4 of my friends are married to footballers now. Didn't interest me. I always looked a bit different. but they were my friends, and I'd never tried to fit in. Wasn't interested. You know, and some of my other girlfriends would be like, oh, not sure about so and so, because they were absolutely stunning, but they were just my friends, you know. I didn't care. It's just, I'm different, they're different. I was the one that would go off and talk to everybody, and they were the ones that got us into nightclubs for nothing. Like, you go to the front.
Well, honestly, I can tell by our conversation that the magazine is going to be full of so many different topics of conversation, and I just know that you're going to bring so much, just some new refreshing content from women. And it's just, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
But yes, I have to say a massive thank you to Nikki Donahoe for putting me in touch with you, because I'm absolutely chuffed to bits that you were our first cover girl. I cannot wait to read your, you know, your features and everything, you know. And I'm one of the people that watches it when you go live.
Thank you.
That's okay. And then, I mean, we've got, who have we got? We've got Sophie Garner, who's a singer. She's a singer, and she's a singing teacher. She's an actress. She's on our next cover. Then we've got Star Monroe, of course.
Yes.
The amazing Star.
Gorgeous.
Honestly, I can't. She just cracks me up.
Yeah, she really does.
Like, look at this woman.
I know, she's amazing. Yeah, she really is.
And then we've got Astrid in January. So I'm really excited, because they're really different women that have really got, you know, they're just really different, and really, everyone's just been so nice so far.
So how can people find out about the magazine? Where can they find it? Where can they download it?
So I've got the links on my Instagram account, which is I'm Not Old, I'm Retro. But we've also got an Instagram account for the magazine, which is F.A.B, 40 and Beyond Mag UK. So you just follow the link. We had a couple of teething issues at the beginning. So what we've done is there's a mobile view, because most people read it on their phones.
Yeah.
If you're at work, have a sneaky read on your lunch break. And you just go onto mobile viewer, and that will take you to the platform that we've got it on, which is issue. And then if you just press the button that makes it bigger, it scrolls through like a magazine.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to advertise with us, or you've got a story to tell, we had some brilliant stories last month about smear tests and the hilariously awful things that have happened to women. And I really laughed at some of those. So this month, we've got your internet blind dating stories. And there are some corkers out there. There really are. Thank you to everybody that's contributed, because we couldn't stop laughing. Some of them you're like, oh my God, no. Oh no. And then others are like, well, you had a lucky escape. You know. So
I look forward to reading that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
No, it's been lovely, and I'm so pleased that we've connected and that you're doing this. I think it's fantastic, and I can't wait to just see it grow and grow and grow, because I'm sure it will do. Really am.
I know. I'd like you as a regular.
Yes, I will be there. Yes, I've got plans, so actually I need to get that to you today. You just reminded me.
It's something a bit different for women. It's all women, all walks of life. Something you read and go, actually, I've never thought about that, or you can relate to it, or, you know, it's just meant to be fun, informative, like you say, inclusive. Yeah, just something a little bit different, and hopefully, it will take off, and we can start earning some money, and I can retire and have a dog.
Yay! Oh yes. Well, I'll put all the links on my thing as well to share it, so everybody can click on that as well afterwards. But it's been so lovely to catch up with you, and take care and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you. Thanks, Zee. Bye. Well, honestly, you've got to go and download it. I'll put all the links after this talk, but she just is a breath of fresh air, and her magazine is really, really great. It's got so many different stories, and it comes at it from a different angle, and I think it's got a really modern take on representing women over 40. So please go take a look, and I'd love to know what you think. And I will be back on Friday, when I will be talking to Miranda Araya, and we're going to be talking about some mental health issues. So enjoy the rest of your week. I hope it's not too rainy where you are today, and I will be back on Friday.